Welcome to another week of your hero's journey. By now, some heroes are on a hero's journey. They're setting into routine and seeing smooth sailing ahead. Others are pushing through important challenges, and many have no idea what might be just around the corner. On a journey, there's always a sense of adventure, which can be spontaneous and fun, but it also means that you don't know what challenges lie ahead. As a parent, you may already be experiencing a real struggle that your child has encountered, or possibly a bigger, more important struggle that's yet to come. Either way, here is what I do know. Your child will inevitably face a struggle that's particularly hard for you as a parent. Many times, the hardest struggles are the ones that we faced ourselves in our childhood, bringing back the tender feelings of pain and heartache, and we just don't want our child to have to experience that. As a parent, you might be entering the final showdown, a normal and important part of your hero's journey, but the most difficult part of the journey, as you must face something that you deeply fear. In a learner-driven community, there are three specific ways that we see young people struggle, and we've talked about these before: distraction, resistance, and victimhood. Remember, we call these the three monsters, and if that's what you call it when you talk to your child, they'll probably know exactly what you're talking about. Our goal is to help you, to help your child, and all of our young heroes to learn to solve their own problems. In a supportive community where failure is where it's the best place for failure to happen, but we want them to be equipped with a set of tools that empower them and help them to be able to handle these things on their own. So there are no victims at Acton Leadership Academy because there's always a tool that you can use to assist you. The tool set of any hero starts with contracts. Each hero has the power to uphold the contract in the studio firmly and kindly. As the contract evolves, it will likely have a layer of accountability where a hero can request an eagle buck from another hero who continues to break their promises. A hero who continues to break contract promises could eventually be choosing to leave the community. So the power is real, and it's an important part of learning to set boundaries and keep promises. Poor behavior that doesn't match with our culture will quickly stop if a hero develops the courage to uphold the contract promises. This is hard, and they learn to do it. The second tool is town hall meetings. These typically happen on Friday, but sometimes that varies. If your child's facing a problem that faces many or most other heroes, you can challenge them to bring it up in a town hall meeting. It's a safe place for studio issues to be raised, talked through, and voted on. Each hero has a voice that can change the community. And when they come and bring their ideas to their peers, they often evolve into something they're all really excited about in a way that they've all come up to solve the problem with together. The next tool is conflict resolutions, usually just called the peace table. If your child has an issue with another hero, challenge them to go to the peace table and share how they feel. Guides are always available to facilitate conflict resolutions, and our older heroes can do it too. When we encourage them, they are often given the power and the voice to do so, to make it happen, to have the discussion. We've even been called to peace tables, and it's a very powerful experience. I encourage you to use it in your home as well. So before you react to a problem in the studio, I have a few questions for you to ask yourself so that you can know if there's anything to do at all. Question 1. Is a child being intentionally harmed either physically or emotionally? If you believe this is the case, either your child or someone else, please email us right away, either Brad or I, or admin at Acton Leadership. Acton. I'll put it in the thing so I don't tell you wrong, but please email us. Next question. Does this bother them, or does it just bother me? When it's me, and I just wait and observe, I can see that I'm the one bothered. My child's fine. Trust that your child will figure it out. Now, does it bother them? Encourage them to use the tools they have to make the studio a better place. In most cases, a hero knows that a courageous action must be taken, but they would rather their parents step in and rescue them. When you don't do them, you give them the opportunity to grow and to do something hard and challenging and make a real difference in their community. If you're frustrated that your child's facing a big challenge and action isn't being taken, resist the urge to break the parent contract and intervene. In this scenario, I'd like to ask a few additional questions. First, am I feeding the story? In other words, do I care so much that my child senses it and enjoys the attention? Next, is it possible that I don't know the full story? We often see young heroes who share only part of their story to please parents or to cover up a little bit of the truth, and understandably so. It's a very human thing and we all do it. But this often results in a big problem that your child seems to do nothing about. We find that oftentimes problems in the studio bother us as parents or guides or owners, but they don't really bother the heroes. One thing that tends to be particularly hard for parents is fairness. In a community of developing heroes, it will sometimes and often be unfair, but I can assure you it is more fair than anything they will encounter in the future. Processes and systems are designed to create transparency and high standards of excellence, which includes following due process in almost every situation. So it's unlikely that the experience your child is facing is unnecessarily unfair. In my experience, most young people want to please their parents and they leave out details of the story. We're asking you to trust that even if it's a little unfair at times, you take the opportunity to share experiences from your life about how life often is unfair. Encourage them to pick up the tools they have and make the studio a better place. One of the best lessons a hero can learn is to use the injustices they see as fuel for change. Ask them to have the courage to make the studio a better place. A hero's journey offers you an opportunity to take on a new adventure. Inevitably, you will find and face difficult trials and dilemmas. It's courage, grit, and perseverance to push through that gives the hero a chance to transform. I promise you that as you and your child wait through and work through the struggle, this is where the transformation happens. Your child will grow through the struggle each day when they're allowed to be in the struggle. And this is the safest place to learn some of life's greatest lessons. When you trust them, encourage them, empathize with them, your child will grow in ways that you couldn't have imagined. And I would like to emphasize how grateful and humble we are to be on this journey with you. It is not easy. We have to challenge ourselves and each other as a team to step back and let them figure it out. And they do. It's incredible what they come up with. It is part of the magic of Acton, but it doesn't come until we climb the mountain, get through the hard, and then see the growth that we can look back and see the growth that we've come through. Thank you for trusting your child, and thank you for your patience and courage in this incredible journey.